I want you to come down onto your mat on your back. We're going to just take a moment to let the rib cage settle the palms of the hands, settle the soles of the feet. Just begin to find your breath. Let your shoulders open, your collarbones open. Just draw that chin gently down so your nose is pointed to the ceiling and connect big toe, little toe, heel with the mat. Let's find our breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and then pick up one leg, pick up two. You're going to take your hands and reach them towards your feet. We're going to come into 100. So if you're going to raise your head from the mat, we're going to pick it up now. And we might just push those feet a little bit further away from us. We're going to begin to pump our arms. We're going to pump down through the inhale and pump up through the exhale. The arms are really busy. They're very positive and active. Inhale and exhale. We're going to count 10 circles of breath. Let's call that number 3. Don't argue with me. I'm not in the mood this morning. That's it. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Hug the inside seams of your leggings together. You can reach your legs long, and you may want to draw your heels together and your toes out. We've got 3 more circles of breath to do here. Inhale, exhale. If your head's up, you lift the crown of your head to the ceiling. So there's no weight in your neck, that weight's in your upper abdominals. Last circle of breath here. Inhale, exhale. Woo! We're going to draw our knees into our belly. We're going to take a little rock from side to side. Keep hold of one. We're coming into single leg stretch. We're going to take the other leg and send it up to the ceiling. Hand on shin, the opposite hand comes across to the ankle. And again, the head can pick up if it's there for you. Reach that long leg to the seam between the ceiling and the wall. Take a deep breath in, begin to switch. Exhale, reach it away. Inhale, exhale. There's the option to do this with straight legs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Otherwise, you've got 2 hands on that shin as it comes in. We've got 2 more full sets to do. Breathe in, breathe out. Just remember all that pain you're feeling. There's over 20 of us feeling it this morning. Last set. Knees come into the belly. Head comes to mat. Take a little breath. Take a little rock. From side to side into our double leg stretch. So our hands reach towards our feet. Our hands then reach to the ceiling, as do our legs. We fold it all back in. Hands to ceiling, legs to ceiling, head of the arm bone heavy on that mat. Otherwise, you can pick up your head and shoulders, your hands reach to your feet, and those feet reach to that seam between the ceiling and the wall, and the hands or the arms come parallel with the ears. We inhale it out, we exhale it in. Inhale out, exhale it in. We've got 3 more to do. Inhale it out, exhale it in. And 2. Last one, inhale it out, exhale it in. Let's draw those knees to belly. Woo! Let's take a little circle now with the knees on the ceiling and just massage that lower back and massage the lower back into single leg circle. So the screen leg stays bent, the other leg goes long. The arms come down so your thumbs are on the edge of your mat. Spread those collarbones, push your hands away from you and down the mat in a V. Extend the long leg and anchor down through it, bring your toes to the ceiling. We're going to turn that knee across the body. Push down, round, scoop it up and bring it back in. Exhale. Inhale it in. Shoulders are stabilizing the movement. It's a great big movement in the hip. It's a great big movement in the spine. Last one, down round, scoop it away. There's the option now. We're going to go in the other direction to work with straight leg. You take it out towards the screen, you scoop it down round and pick it up. Exhale, inhale. Hopefully your hip is not clicking like mine is. Exhale it away. Inhale, pick it up. 2 more. Exhale it away. Inhale, pick it up. If it is clicking, try and shrink the movement. Let's draw that knee into the belly. Let's bring our eyebrow to our knee. Lift through the crown of the head, soften through the shoulders. Release the head to the mat. Release that leg long as you do. Give it a little shake out. We're going to bring the other foot off the floor and lift the knee over the belly. Anchor down through that long leg, toes to ceiling, thumbs on the edge of the mat. Let's come across the body towards the screen. Roll through. The shoulders stay quiet. The rib cage stays down. Exhale. Inhale. Scoop it up. Exhale. Inhale. Scoop it up. Is there any more movement in that spine? Is there any more movement in that hip? One last one. Exhale. Inhale. Bring it back in. Extend the leg if it's there for you. You take it wide of the body. You scoop it down round and pick it up. Scoop it down round, pick it up. Scoop it down round and pick it up. One last one. Knee comes into the rib cage. Eyebrow comes to the knee. Let's bring both knees in. Let's take our hands onto our hamstrings and give ourselves a little roll up to seated. Come into a balance if you can. We're going to come into that open leg rocker. So make sure you've got enough mat behind you. You've got your feet hip width apart, your hands on your hamstrings. You're going to roll back towards your tailbone. You might have stayed in that balance. Sorry, should have said. Flip those toes off the floor. Roll back towards your waistband. And coming into a little roll, we're going to come back up into our balance. So we're going to think about straightening our legs now. As we roll back, we're going to straighten our legs and we come back up to seated. Can we keep those legs straight? Inhale. Exhale. If you're really daring, you might take your hands below your knees. Remember my little trick. Don't grip onto your legs, just connect your fingertips with your legs. We're going to do 3 more. Tuck it under, roll it back up. Beautiful. Tuck it under. Hold that balance. Bend your legs where you need to. Roll it back up. One last one. Tuck it under. Roll it back up. Awesome. Let's stay in that balance. Let's bring our knees together now and just tap our toes on the floor. We're going to float those shins up towards the ceiling. Tap our toes towards the floor. Float those shins up towards the ceiling. Arms can come away if you want to. That's 2 down. We've got 6 more to go. Maybe we can straighten those legs. Exhale it up. 3, 4. How are we doing? 5. We're counting these because they hurt. 6. 7. Sitting behind your sits bones towards your waistband. Last one, 8. Let's separate those legs. Let's bring them down to the mat. Let's take a little extension through the hips just to let them go. So push down into your hands, send your hips up towards the ceiling and just open that front body. Then we're going to bring our hips back to the mat. We're coming into spine stretch. We take our thumbs together, connect them on the mat. Lift through the crown of your head, bring the length of your t-shirt back against that wall behind you. Knees bent, legs straight, toes to ceiling if it's there. Take an inhale, round down through the back of the neck. Start to round down through that rib cage. Exhale it all the way down. Reach the fingers away, reach the crown of the head down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring it all the way back up. Are your hands in the center of your body? Or if you twisted a little bit one way or the other, can you feel yourself sitting more heavily on one hip than the other? Balance it out. Is one knee creeping up to the ceiling? Draw it all the way back in. Use those fingers on the mat to help your spine lengthen. We've done 3. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale it back up. And exhale, lengthen. Deep breath in, round down through the back of the neck. Breathe out, crown of the head touches the floor just in front of the knees. In our dreams, let's bring it all the way back up. We've got one last one to do, I think. Deep breath in, round down through the back of the neck, the length of the rib cage, that space between the rib cage, the waistband, right down into the tailbone. Breathe in, breathe it out. Come all the way back up. Lift through the crown of the head. Legs together, we're coming into our roll forwards. We're going to bring our arms up to shoulder height. Head of the arm bone comes back. We've got the inside seams of our leggings hugging together. Exactly the same movement to start off with now as we inhale round down through the back of the neck. But this time our fingertips and the crown of the head are reaching the wall in front of us. We're going to tuck our tailbone under. Roll down towards the waistband, even beyond the waistband if it's there for you. We're pretty warm already. And we're going to exhale it back up. Inhale, round down through the back of the neck. Pickle's just going mad, sorry. Exhale. For some reason, she doesn't like me doing this. Inhale, tuck that tailbone under. Soft shoulders. Don't lose your ears between your shoulders. Roll it down. We roll it back up through seated. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Keep that fold. Keep that C curve now. As you inhale, round it down through the waistband. Exhale it all the way back up. Breathe in. We've got 2 more to do. Breathe out. Breathe in. Roll down. Soft shoulders. I can see some of your shoulders coming all the way up around your ears. Breathe it out. Last one, inhale. This time we take ourselves all the way down to the mat. Exhale down. We find full body stretch. Ooh. Little tricky bit of hip work as a bit of a warm up for our trunk rotation. So you're going to bring your arms down by your sides. You're going to bring your legs up to the ceiling. Okay, palms of the hands are down. All we're going to do now is push one big toe up through the ceiling and then bring it back down. So you've actually got to hinge your hip off the mat. Bring it back down. Push up through your exhale. Bring it back down. Inhale. Exhale it up. Inhale it back down. Exhale up. Inhale back down. Exhale it up. Now we've got that movement. We're going to use it in trunk rotation. So we might have long legs, we might have our knees bent, we might have our knees over our belly, but whatever we're doing, we're going to push that big toe or the knee up as we rotate. Exhale. Inhale back over the back of the pelvis. So you exhale, you rotate. Inhale over the back of the pelvis. Pick up that hip. You found the feeling. Even if you couldn't really do it, you know where you're going. Push. Inhale back through center. Exhale up. Rotate. Inhale it back through center. And up. And inhale. We've got one last set to do. Lift the hip. Ooh, stay in control. Knees to belly. I couldn't speak on that last one. Oh, little circle with the knees on the ceiling. We're going to take a circle and stretch now. I think you might need a little bit of a break. So wiggle your body to the back side of your mat. Send the screen arm towards the screen. Roll onto your side body. Knees bent to 90. Knees stacked, hips stacked. Let's anchor down through the pelvis. Bring your head to the mat. So your shoulder, your top shoulder's over your lower shoulder, not your lower shoulder under your ear. You're going to tuck it right under there. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to float the top fingers up to the ceiling. Turn your eyes to look at your fingers and then reach those fingers out behind you, but don't move your pelvis. It's going to stay still. We're going to float the arm overhead. and connect our fingers with our fingers. And then we're going to go back the other way. So we're going to exhale it all the way out. Feel that rib cage open. Inhale, close the book. Now we're going to exhale, open the book. Inhale, semicircle overhead. One last set. And close. And then open it up. And close it over. One more time overhead. Beautiful. And then close those fingers. As you do so, send your lower arm long, bring your top hand to the mat, and we're going to send our legs long along the mat. We're going to turn our top knee to look at the ceiling. You're going to draw the sole of your foot along the inside seam of your legging, and then reach your toes all the way up to the ceiling. Draw your toes to your nose, push away with the heel, bring it all the way back down. So let's find our breath. Let's inhale it in. Reach it up. Exhale, toes to nose and push away. Inhale it in. Soften the ankle. Exhale. We've got one more to do. Inhale it in. Reach it long. Toes to nose. And bring it all the way back down. So from here, you're going to draw your lower knee in. You're going to draw your lower elbow in. And we're going to come up into our side bend. But from here, we're going to roll. We need to be up on our hand, sorry. Up on the heel of your hand. You're going to push up into your side bend here. Then we're going to take our hand to the mat. We're going to flip that lower knee away from us so it's under the hip, and we come into a plank, a little half plank here, or you could be in a full plank. From here, the knee that's closest to the screen comes in. We turn away from the screen and you come into your side bend. The balance should be difficult here because the lower limb is pointing back. So we come back into our plank. We plant our toes if we can. We're coming into a full plank. Let's take a full circle of breath here. You could be on your knees. You could be up in full plank. The knee that's away from the screen comes under the hip. We pick up the screen hand and we wave at each other. Come into that side bend. It's quite difficult in the balance. So the hand comes back to the mat. We push it back into full plank or half plank. Lift your belly button. There's the option now not to bring your knee in. So you can bring your knee in, or we can just roll on the side of our feet away from the screen and float that top arm up to the ceiling. We're in a full side plank. Hands come back down. You roll over onto the toes or the knees, that's fine. We slide one knee in if we want to, or we roll it onto the side of the feet and we pick up. Are we with me now? Okay, we're going to do 2 more sets because we've now found it. Plank. Breathe. Roll over. Side plank. Lift it up. Turn your eyes to the ceiling if it's there for you. Come back into your plank, whether it's a half plank or a full plank, whether you're bringing your knee in or not. We roll out. We've got 1 more set to do. Take a break if you need to. Don't let that head drop down. Into your plank. Roll across. Into your side plank. We are awesome. Back into plank. On your knees if you need to. Slide that one knee in. I think that's the last one. Should we come all the way down onto our knees? Sit back on our heels. Just release those wrists as you bring yourself into rest pose. And let's take those hands all the way up to the ceiling. Side 1, side 2. So you get that lovely rest now of circle and stretch. Bring yourself Back onto your second side. Knees bent to 90. Lower arm stretched towards the screen. Fingers to fingers. Head down. Okay. Just make sure your rib cage hasn't escaped from the wall. You haven't arched your back. So you're going to draw back through your waistband. We're going to float the top fingers all the way up to the ceiling. Turn your eyes to look at your fingers and then reach that arm out behind you as far as you can without letting go of your pelvis. Sweep it overhead. The fingers connect with the floor and then they reconnect with their own fingers. So let's exhale. Sweep the fingers on the floor in a big semicircle. They're going to come off at some point. You reach the arm out behind you and you close the book. We open the book. And we semicircle overhead. Set number 2. Open the book. Or semicircle overhead, sorry. And close the book. Last set. Open that book. Keep the pelvis and the lower body still. It's going to move in a minute. And last one. Semicircle overhead. Let your head go. And then close the book. That lower arm comes under your ear. Your top arm comes in front of your shoulder. Your legs stretch long. There's no crease in the front of your leggings now. We turn the top knee to look at the ceiling. So we externally rotate in the hip. We're going to draw it in as we inhale. Reach it long. Heel. And push away. Beautiful. Inhale it in. Reach it long, toes to nose. Exhale. Push the heel away though. Inhale it long. Reach it. Toes to nose. Push that heel away. 2 more. Inhale it in. Reach it long. Push the heel away. Last one. Breathe it in. Reach it up to the ceiling. Toes to nose. Push the heel away. Let's come on to our bellies. Let's drop into our hips for a moment. So when you just put your hands underneath your shoulders and push up, but just drop into your belly so you're really opening the front of your hips. We're not lifting our belly up. We're letting our back arch. We're letting our front body really open in readiness for taking the opposite arm away from us. The screen arm comes round and we're going to reach for the screen foot with the screen hand. That long arm, you're going to push down into it. You're going to push the front of your hip into the floor, roll your shoulder off your back and try and pick your knee off the floor without taking it towards the screen. And inhale it back down. Some of you, if you've got the flexibility, can take hold of your ankle and flex it. Exhale it up, inhale it back down. Exhale up. Might not be the nicest thing you've ever done. Inhale it back down, but it sure stretches those hip flexors. Inhale it back down. Let's release that, shake it out. Take the screen arm up above your head. Then the opposite leg. Reach for the foot or the ankle if it's there for you. If you're reaching for the ankle, you're going to flex it and we're going to exhale. Inhale it down. Exhale it up. Inhale it down. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Release it. We're all going to go there if we can. We're going to take our hands to our feet. That might be as far as we go. You might have your hands around your ankles, but this time we might not go very far. Don't worry if you don't. You're going to pick it up. Draw it back in. Can't speak as I do this. Let's find a big exhale. Inhale. Have a rest. If it's not there for you, or switch sides. One last one. Exhale it up. Oh, inhale it back in. Let's pop our hands under our shoulders. Let's come up onto our hands and knees and let's release that off in cat stretch. So draw your belly button into your backbone. Push the heel of your hands away. Draw your sternum in towards your backbone. Tuck your tailbone all the way under. Release it down until you've got a long spine, and then just send your booty very gently from side to side as we release off. Whoo! So, option to stay on hands and knees now, or you're going to come up onto your toes with your knees floating off the mat. So the knee that's nearest the screen, you might be fully on your knees. The knee that's nearest the screen is going to come into the screen elbow. We're going to release it back. So exhale it in, release it back for 3. Exhale it in. 2 and 1. Rest if you need to, or switch legs. Comes in. 2, 3. Take a rest for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Draw your belly button in towards your backbone. Push the heel of the hands into the mat so your shoulder blades separate. Your shoulders are very busy. Either come up onto your toes. This time that knee's coming across to the opposite elbow for 1. I didn't say it was nice. For 2. For 3. Foot comes back to the mat. Take a break if you need to. Pull across. You could be fully on your knees. For 2. For 3. Knees to mat. Let it go. We've got one more set to do. Toes. Tuck under if it's there for you. Float up onto the knees. This time the leg goes wide and it pulls. Knee to shoulder. And back down. Pick it up. Pull it round. For 2. Pick it up. Pull it round. For 3. Place it back on the floor. Your knees floating up in the air. Pick it up. Pull it round. Take a break if you need to. 2. And 3. Pick it up. Pull it round. Oh, knees to mat. Bum to heels. Let's release those wrists. Just interlock your fingers. Take a little shake out. Back onto your belly. Little bit of swan dive work. So we're going to interlock our fingers. And before we go anywhere, over to Anne. Those of you that remember Anne, this is your blobby moment. So your heels turn out, your belly sinks fully into the mat. Your head rests on your hands, and you just take a little moment to go, phew, because I know there's more coming now. So we're going to start to activate our body again. We're going to hug the inside seams of our leggings together. Reach our toes towards the bottom end of our mat. Begin to draw your belly button away from the mat. Reach your elbows far away so you feel your shoulder blades separate on your back. And let your forehead rest on your hands. Then draw your forehead forwards so your nose just touches the back of your fingers. Then we're going to pick up the front of our legs. We're going to just hold them off the mat. Might not be there for you. If it's not, you leave them on the mat. We're now going to exhale, pick up our ponytail. We're going to inhale, the nose comes back to connect with the fingers. Exhale it up. Inhale it back down. The legs are staying still. 3. Inhale it back down. 4. We're going to do 8. We've got 4 more to do. Pick it up. How much of the front of your t-shirt can you pull off the mat whilst leaving your elbows on the mat? 2. 3. I think we've got 1 more to do. And 4. Fantastic. Release it down. Release the legs to the mat. Take a little shake out through your bum. Then release your hands from under your head and bring your arms down by your side so your thumbs touch the side of your leggings. Your nose is back on the mat. We're hugging the inside seams of our leggings together, but we've now put a pencil lead on our forehead. We're going to start to draw a line with that pencil lead along the mat towards our belly button. So you're going to draw your forehead in towards you. Some of you will lift higher than me. You've got good extension in your spine. You might find your shoulders will raise more. 4. Don't drag your forehead along the mat. Imagine that pencil lead is about 1 centimetre off your forehead. That's number 6. Exhale it up. If you're doing this correctly, you're going to feel it in your lower back, but above your waistband. Last one. I think we need an up stretch, but if we don't need an up stretch, we're going to come back into our cat stretch. So hands under shoulders, up onto hands and knees. Take the hands one whole hand length forwards, tuck your toes under, pick your knees up, push back. So your ears come parallel with your arms, and then send your heels down, open the back of your knees and your tailbone up to the ceiling. Just walk it out through the feet. So from here, we're going to come onto our bottoms. You could walk your feet through your hands and just send yourself down onto the mat with spine twisting. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? So let's bring our hands so they're parallel with our pelvis, not behind, not in front. So your shoulders are stacked over your pelvis, your legs are long, your knees are pointed to the ceiling, or your knees are bent, that's fine. Toes to ceiling if you can. Float the arms up, turn the palms of the hands forwards, and then just draw your hands forward so you can just see them. Deep breath in, we exhale, we rotate. Inhale back through center. Is your pelvis anchored to the mat, or can you feel it shifting as you move from side to side? Anchor it down. Spin through the length of your spine. Soften your shoulders. Rotate. 2 down. 4 to go. Ha-ha. Exhale, rotate. Inhale back through center. Exhale, rotate it out. Inhale it back through center. Rotate. 3. Keep the length. Imagine you're being drawn up towards the ceiling. So lift out of that pelvis rather than sinking into it. Last set. Breathe it out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Into our rear leg pull. So the legs come together. The hands come behind the pelvis, if you can, with your fingers pointing towards your pelvis. But if that's not there for you, just find a position that your hands can be in. You've either got both legs straight, or you've got one heel in line with your knee, and you're going to push into that bent leg to pick up your pelvis. We've got a straight line from our heels all the way up to our armpits. Our eyes are looking forwards. We're going to take 3 circles of breath in. Push that floor away. Keep lifting. And release it back down. So change legs if you have one leg bent. Otherwise, take a release. Inhale, exhale, push down into the mat. Lift it up. Breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Eyes are looking forwards. Don't let that chin lift in the air. Don't let your ponytail drop to the mat. And release it down. We're going to add some leg lifts now. So release those wrists. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Lift it up. One leg bent if you need to. It's the long leg that lifts. If you've got a bent leg, you're going to lift the long leg up for 3, for 2, for 1. Come down, switch legs, or stay up there and switch legs for 3, for 2, for 1. Release it down. This is going to be a bit of a killer now. Not going to lie. We're going to release our wrists. We're going to take our hands to the mat. Let's take a little fold and then draw your fingers back past your knees towards your hips and just roll yourself all the way down onto the mat. Take your arms overhead. We're coming into shoulder bridge, but we've just kind of pre-exhausted our hamstrings and our glutes, so our feet are coming hip width apart. We're going to inhale, tuck the tailbone under. We're going to exhale, peel the back of the t-shirt off the mat. Stand in the soles of both feet. Find that triangle. Imagine you're squeezing a ball between your knees. We're going to just float our arms up to the ceiling and we're going to hold for 3 circles of breath. Really push down into the soles of the feet. Don't let your chin sink onto your chest. Deep inhale, and then as you exhale, melt down between the shoulder blades, float the arms slowly down by your sides. So we just did our rear leg pull with a hold, and then we added 3 leg lifts. They could be heel lifts, they could be leg extensions. So we're going to inhale, reach that tailbone away. We're going to exhale, peel it up through spine. You could take your arms up to the ceiling, but it's more difficult, or you leave them down by your side. You're going to float one heel off the mat or float one leg long. We're going to pick it up to the ceiling. So it could just be a heel lift. For 2, you could have your arms down by your sides. In fact, I probably would. For 3. Let's bring that leg back in or the heel back to the mat. Let's take a deep breath in and let's breathe out and roll down through spine. So we've done one side. We've got side 2 to do. Be so pleased to hear. Tailbone tucks under, reaches away. Adjust your feet. Every time you do a bridge, you move up your mat a little bit because you're pushing into the soles of your feet. So we've got openness across the collarbones. We're going to either pick up the heel or we pick up the leg and extend it. We reach it for the ceiling for 1. We reach it long and maybe all the way to the floor for 2. For 3, the pelvis stays still. Pick it up, bend it back in. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, roll it down through spine. Reach that tailbone away. Knees to belly. Take a little rock from side to side. Hands come down. Roll over or rear crunch. So palms of the hands down. Shoulders heavy on the mat. Take a deep breath in. Squeeze your knees in towards your belly button and then push your toes a little bit away from you. So we inhale here, squeeze, exhale, toes away. We might take our toes all the way to the mat. We might lift that tailbone off the mat. So touch down, squeeze it in. You might be able to straighten your legs and float over into paperclip. If that's the case, you roll down with control through spine and you float your feet away from you. We pull up and over, knees bent, legs straight. Roll down through spine. With control, float the toes away from you. We got 4 more to do. We're going to pull it up and over. We're going to roll it down through spine. Are we breathing? Inhale. Exhale. In control. Use your shoulders. That's what your arms are there for. 2 more. Pull it up and over or just pull it in. Reach it away. Beautiful. We're nearly there, team. Last one. Pull it up and over. Reach it away. Knees to belly. Hands on shins. Let's draw a little circle. We've taken no prisoners this morning, so we're not going to start now. We're going to finish off with crisscross. So we're going to take our hands behind our head. If your neck needs supporting, please take your elbows up to the ceiling. Separate your knees so they're hip width apart. And then push 1 foot away from you so it's reaching for the crease between the wall and the ceiling. We're going to take that long leg shoulder to the bent leg knee. We switch legs and we switch shoulders. You can take your head back to floor in the middle if you want to, but as we're not taking any prisoners, we might be staying up here. That's 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Guess how many we're doing then? Shall we do 6 or shall we do 8? I can't hear you. That's number 5. I think we should do 8 now because we're over halfway. That's 6. 6. 7. 7. We're nearly there. 8. 8. Oh, head to mat. 1 foot, 2 feet to floor. Full body stretch. Let's reach it away. Let's reach those arms overhead. Reach them long, long, long. So bring your feet to floor and your arms to crucifix. Let's take our knees towards the screen. And keeping your knee on your knee, straighten your top leg. And then, if you can, you're going to take that foot to the floor and sweep it up towards the opposite hand. So we can take hold of the leg if it's there for us. Now turn your head and look down your opposite arm. Now, if it's there for you, you can push that bottom foot back and take hold of it. We're in a kind of long pretzel. We needed a pretzel this morning. Release the bottom hand, send that opposite arm away, release the top leg. Your arms are back in crucifix. We sweep the foot back along the floor, bring the knee back on the knee and the foot back on the foot. Just take a moment there and then bring yourself all the way back onto your pelvis. Re-centralize. Roll away from the screen with the knees. Just let the stretch happen first and then stretch that top leg long. So your knee's still on your knee. You just open the back of the knee and then bring the foot to the floor and sweep it up towards the hand if it's there. Take hold of it if it's there for you. Otherwise, just enjoy the stretch. Enjoy it where it gets to. And then you could reach for your bottom foot with your top hand and find your extended pretzel. Yay! Let's release that bottom foot. Let's take the arm, the screen arm towards the screen. Release the top leg. The other hand comes long. We've got our arms in crucifix. We're going to sweep the foot back down, knee on knee, foot on foot. Come back over the soles of the feet. Let's take the screen hand behind the head. I think we need some breathing. I think we will need to breathe now. So top hand, the fingers interlink with the bottom hand. Find a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, bring that top elbow all the way down to pickle. Roll back onto the lower arm, onto the backs of the hands as you inhale. Just let the pelvis go now. And fill up those lungs. Exhale it down. Really feel as though you're squeezing a sponge out. You fill that sponge up as we open out here. And then we're going to squeeze it out. Pull down with that top elbow. Let's do one more on this side. Breathe in, fill it up. Fill that up, fill that up. Open out, open the chest, open the collarbones. Breathe out. Bring it all the way back down. So this time you're going to roll onto the back of your head, onto the back of your hands, and just roll yourself very gently over onto the other side. So you roll onto the back of the pelvis too. We're going to start to exhale as we pull down. And then inhale. Bring it all the way back up. Beautiful. Exhale, roll it down. Little bit of movement in the pelvis. And exhale, bring it down. One last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then very gently just draw your knees into your belly. Let that top hand go if you want to. Find a little fetal position. Let your eyes close. Everything soften. And very gently switch me off by all means if you want to stay where you are. Otherwise, we come up to seated with the soles of our feet together. I'm going to take hands round feet and just draw your chest down between your knees. Let the crown of your head soften down towards your feet. Find your breath. And then softly come halfway out, not all the way. And you're going to walk your hands round to one side. Just reach that front hand out on the diagonal. Feel a lovely deep stretch into the lats. Bring it back through center. Walk the back hand round past the knee. And that front hand comes out on the diagonal. We rocked.